Okay. Welcome to Empower Leads team call for March 7th. I literally cannot believe it's March already. I don't even know what happened to the first part of the year. But just a couple quick things before we dive in. I just want to remind you that we're starting a second team-wide 80-day obsession group starting prep week next Monday, the 12th. And then kicking off on the 19th. So you still have plenty of time to share transformations, to share about your progress, to share your journey, to invite people to this, to share about it in your Instagram and Facebook stories. Kayla, she posted in our team page the other day that polls are working really great for her. So like sharing a bunch of slides of transformations from our group and from our team, and then putting a poll of asking if people would like information. So just get it out there and keep, the kind of hype and the buzz going about it, because it's just such an incredible program, and it would be awesome to really have a nice, solid little group to have kick off a second round of this. So that is kicking off officially the 19th. The next thing is make sure that if you have not registered yet for Summit tickets are on sale for $145 right now until the end of the month. And if you have new coaches that haven't registered yet, encourage them to come to this life-changing event. And then the last thing, or two more things actually, our basics challenge. There's a couple of you that weren't on last week. I'm not going to go through explaining it all again, but in the files of our team page is the Basics Are Badass challenge tracker. You're going to want to print that out, and then every Sunday there's going to be a prompt in the team page for you to post your trackers. It's just meant to help with accountability and engagement, and just for you really like nailing in the basics and having fun with it and creating that energy and momentum in your business, which will allow you to hit bigger goals. And then the last thing is our Ambition Academy is rocking right now. It is absolutely awesome. It is probably one of the best new coach trainings I've ever had part in running. And I hope that you guys are getting really excited to use this as a resource to grow your teams and help people learn how to do what we do. So take advantage of that and make sure that you're also popping in there and seeing the content that's going up, so that if you do put your new coaches in there, that, if they have questions, you can be a resource to really help them through that. So that is it. And I'm super, super excited. I know Alicia's a little nervous. I asked Alicia to come talk to our team tonight because I know a lot of you are busy moms, and even if you're not a busy mom, you have busy full-time schedules. You just have busy lives in general, right? And a lot of times it's like, how the hell do I make time? How can I stay consistent? I don't really know how to manage everything. And I just think that Alicia crushes this. She is so consistent on social media. She is a Success Club All-Star. She's a diamond coach. She's been a coach for 3.5 years. We got to spend some time together last year on the Success Club trip. And figured out that we were both introverts and just kind of bonded over that. So I know that this is a bit out of her comfort zone. So just embrace her being here, guys, and embrace the fact that like when somebody asks you to share something, say yes, because that's such an opportunity to share and grow. And I'm super excited for Alicia to share tonight just how she really manages to stay consistent with her business, because she is a full-time teacher. She's a busy mom of 2 and a wife, and she just is like the consistency queen. So thanks for hopping on tonight, Alicia.
Sure. All right. So yeah, like Dana said, when she asked me this, I got that message and I like saw it on my desk and I was like, I'm not going to answer. I don't know what to say, because I didn't want to at all. Like, I'm such an introvert. When I first got into coaching, all of this stuff freaked me out. So bear with me. I might get a little scatterbrained, a little squirrel brain, but I will do my best. So my name's Alicia. I am on Aspire Nation. Annalisa is my coach. I've been in the business for about 3.5 years. I started with Beachbody after I had my second baby. She was about 5 months old, and I just wanted to lose baby weight. So everyone was buzzing about the 21-day fix. It was in 2014 when it was all over the place. So I was like, sure, I'll try this. So I jumped into that, had some really good results, and kind of mulled the idea of coaching over for a while, and I kind of needed the kick in the pants from my husband to just like decide to do it. So I became a coach in October of 2014, and it has not been smooth the whole time. I still struggle, like Dana said, with like, I mean, I'm busy. We're all busy. I teach high school special ed. So I am out the door at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I am like rushing home to grab my kid from the walking line at 3:30. So I don't have a lot of time to myself. And I mean, I have some tips and stuff to go through with you guys, but like my main tip is you just have to work with what you have, and you have to work in the cracks of time that you have in your day. And we all have them. I know when I first started, like, I didn't think I did. And then I had to really like do a reality check and like see where I was spending my time. And a lot of my time was on meaningless things that I didn't need to do. I didn't need to scroll Facebook forever. I didn't need to watch so much TV, just all of that kind of stuff. I mean, you need some downtime, and that's important. And I'll talk about that too. But I did not need to be having as much downtime as I was having. That's for sure. So in the beginning, I definitely struggled with figuring out how to make this work time-wise. I struggled with posting consistently. It took me a while to figure out how to post, kind of to get the most bang for my buck with my posts. I have to say, since social media has kind of made a shift, when I first started, the advice was always that you need to post 3 to 5 times a day, and that was really hard for me to do. And now that things have kind of shifted to a little bit more of like quality over quantity, 1 to 2 times a day, that works a lot better for me now. So my first tip for you guys is definitely to work in pockets of time that you have. So one of our vital behaviors is personal development, obviously. I don't have the time to sit down and read a book. So it just doesn't happen for me. I miss it, but I can't do it. So I am an audiobook person. I listen to my PD on my commute to work. I drive about 30 minutes to work. So in the afternoons, that's when I get my PD, and that's when I listen to the national wake up calls. That's when I listen to some of the other recordings on Facebook. I just put my phone in my car and I listen then. So that's an easy way to get in my 30 minutes a day for that. When it comes to my own fitness journey and being consistent with that, so that obviously took time. Now it's just like part of my routine. I don't even really it's not an option to not do it. Like if I didn't do it, it would feel weird. But I just had to decide, like, am I gonna, well, all right, let me back up a little bit. So I have become a meal prepper. That helps me a lot. I don't go crazy. Like a lot of people, like I envy Dana's pictures when she posts like all of her meals laid out nicely and everything. I'm more of like a batch kind of person, like just do, like a bunch of things on Sunday that I can pull from through the week. And then I do cook dinner at night. I'm a big foodie. I like to cook, and I like to kind of have that time with my family. So I do cook at night. But meal prepping is huge, and I get up really, really early. I get up at 4:30 now that we're doing 80-day obsession and I have to eat before I work out. I'm up really early. And if you had told me that I would be a morning person 4 years ago, I would have laughed in your face, because I was not. But now, honestly, it's like, it's my time. It's my time when there's nobody else around. Kids don't need me. Everybody's asleep. So I kind of like it. Like my alarm goes off and I'm never really mad about it. So I get up. Now, like I said, now that we're eating before workouts, I usually have stuff prepped that I just like toss in the microwave. I eat that, and I usually check in on my phone then. So if I have any messages from people from the night before, I'll respond to those. I'll go through and answer comments and stuff on my posts. And I'll usually do like a good morning story on my Instagram stories, and I have that linked with my Facebook like page, so I don't have to go in and like upload again. Just goes right to that one. So I forgo Facebook stories on my personal page. at this point, because I was going through and uploading them all again, and it was too much. So I just use them on Instagram pretty much, and my Facebook like page. And then I get my workout in. I always do stories for that. So I'll do like 3 moves or something, and then usually like just like chit chat, what's happening with my day. Usually some sort of invitation of what I'm that follows with after what I'm doing. And then it is upstairs, lunches, kids, school, all of that. So my next tip, so this may not work for everybody, and everybody's job is different. Your schedule in your job is different. I am very lucky in the sense, especially as a teacher, that I have a significant amount of downtime in my day. I have learned in my professional job how to do things like really efficiently. Like I write a lot of IEPs, a lot of individual education plans, and I have it down to a science where it doesn't take me long at all. So I'm super efficient with my work at school. I have like everybody else in the special ed department, we're very, very close, but we're very different. There's a lot of guys in my department, and they take a lot of time with stuff. They like to hang out and chit chat. There's a lot of socializing going on. And while I do socialize with my coworkers, I don't do it as much as they do. And that's because I want to use my downtime for my business. And the way I feel about that, like some people may not agree with it, but I feel like if I'm still doing my job, I'm doing it well, and I have some extra time, I could be walking around and bullshitting with people, or I could be sitting on my phone and scrolling Facebook, or I could be logging hours in my business. So that's what I do. So that will be the time that I will do my invitations to people. I'll start my conversations with them. I have shifted a lot to my like page. And that is because I did one of the social media trainings, the Practical Social Media University. I know some of you guys have done Social Team Builder. I'm pretty sure they're pretty much the same. But that is where a lot of my Facebook business comes from now. So my funnel is usually pretty full because of that. I run an ad, just like a continuous ad. I started it in like October, it's the same one. And I get a lot of interest on that. So those are the people that I usually connect with on Facebook. So I'll go through people who have commented that they're interested, and I'll message those people. And I have, I don't know if you guys I know a lot of you guys are new and you might not have a like page. Don't feel like you need a like page right away. But when you decide to go that route, if you do, there's a lot of cool features on there that can make it a lot easier to get your stuff done in the least amount of time. There's an option for saved replies, which I used to do. I used to just I have tons of stuff in my notes section of my phone, and I would just go and copy paste them. But that's an option in your like page to save replies to people. So I have something that goes for everything. So I'm not constantly retyping well, this is what you get in a challenge pack and da, 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 and I can just tweak it and then send it to them. So it makes things a lot quicker. Let's see. Okay, so when it comes to posting, this is something that I do, but I need to be better at. Creating your content ahead of time. Because in the morning, I have a super small window that I can get my workout in and still do all my other responsibilities for my house. So if I'm sitting down there trying to figure out what to attach to a photo, lots of times it's not going to be that great. It's just going to be something that I kind of slap up there because I want to, but I need to get moving. So I have been a little bit better about it lately, just kind of the night before, thinking about what I want to post about. Even if it's not perfect and everything I want to say, it's an outline or an idea of what I want to say. And then usually after my workout, I don't know, I get a little bit more, I don't know, inspiration, I guess, when I'm done to say stuff. So at least if I have a thought of where I want to go with it, And then it goes a little bit quicker. And I know, like I said, it used to be 3 to 5 times a day you would post. If I post once a day, that's great. If I can get a second one in there in the afternoon about something unrelated, then that's great too. I'm constantly going back and like looking at my Instagram feed and stuff to make sure that it's not too much of the same stuff. And like it's usually heavy on the workout stuff. I'm trying to be really good about documenting my 80-day obsession journey because I'm doing it 100%. It'll be the longest program I've ever done. And I think it's amazing. So I want to show people that I'm still showing up every day, but just try to keep it as fresh as possible. But I do the same content on Instagram as I do on Facebook. It just works for me. I'm not going to do like different stuff for different outlets. I know I mentioned a little bit that I use stories. So like I said, every single morning, it's kind of the same routine for me. I show myself getting up, having my energize, doing some of my moves, saying good morning and what's going on. A lot of it is usually kind of teacher heavy because that's the market that I'm going for, is like teacher moms. And then like if I can snap food throughout the day at school, I will. Lots of times I don't get a lot of stories in while I'm at school. It's tough. Like, I have other people's children. I can't be putting them on my Instagram. And then in the afternoon, it's just like kid stuff, just documenting my day. So that doesn't really take any thought. Just showing my kids being maniacs, that sort of thing. Let's see. So I think I talked about invitations, tracking my stuff. So this is an area that I'm not super good at. I'm not really great at tracking. And I think that's because I am constantly working in different places. Like I'm at work or I'm in the living room or I'm wherever. I don't really like sit down at my desk at home and work. So I do use my phone a lot. I have a lot of like lists and stuff in my notes section. And the like page is nice too, because it has its own little message box. So I can just go through and like do my follow-ups that way. Lots of times I'll just scroll through the message section and see who I haven't talked to in a while and send them my second follow-up and my third follow-up. Things that I already have set aside, they're labeled as that. And it doesn't take me long. I can go through and do, like 30 follow-ups in like less than 10 minutes. It's not that hard. Okay. So another thing I wanted to talk about was, disconnected time. So like Dana said, I have 2 little kids. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. I have a husband and they all need my attention. So it is definitely a work in progress, trying to make sure that I'm drawing that line and that I'm disconnecting enough so that I'm present with them and taking advantage of the time that we have together, since we all are doing our own thing throughout the day. So I always disconnect at dinner time. I might like snap a picture of my food or a quick story while I'm cooking or something, but dinner time is our time. Like I said, I like to cook, so I cook for everybody. We eat together, we do the whole bedtime routine and everything, and I am not working during that time. So that's a good like 2, sometimes 3 hours in the evening. And that's important. I mean, it's important for my mental sanity and it's important for my children. And, you definitely have to find your boundaries. Otherwise you will burn out. And, I definitely have felt that at times where I just haven't balanced things well. And you start to feel that from the people in your family and yourself. You start to get that guilt. So it's really important to just like, I shouldn't say when you're working because I'm constantly doing both, but take that time away. The messages will be there when you come back. Nothing's going to happen if you're gone for an hour or 2, and just like do what you need to do for your personal life that doesn't have anything to do with Beachbody, because I know from my own experience that it can become all encompassing and you kind of like, you have to know when to step back. And it's still something that I work on, putting my phone away and not like, I turn the alerts off. I don't have Notifications for Facebook, they don't pop up on my phone. I don't have sounds go for Messenger, because if I hear that Messenger sound, it's like, ooh, I gotta go talk to them. So I've turned all that stuff off so that I can do it when I want to do it and not when I feel like it's calling me. And Annalisa said, when you almost quit. Yes, I did almost quit. Yeah, that's important. I'll talk about that. So let's see. Like Dana mentioned, a big goal of mine was hitting Success Club All-Star. And I've been a coach for 3.5 years, and I just hit that, let's see, 4 or 5 months ago. And that was because I had a nice little 2-month mental breakdown in like October and November, like, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I wasn't balancing things well. I was feeling burnt out from conversations with people. Like the way I was talking to people just wasn't working. I was sick of hearing no and feeling like I was convincing people all the time. I was going through some kind of like physical, just nothing crazy, but just like some digestive stuff that was really rocking my world. And I was just like, I'm done. And Annalisa did talk me off the ledge. I remember when I told her I'm thinking about quitting, and I could tell she like wanted to be supportive, and she was like, okay, whatever you need to do. And I know she didn't want me to do it. But I was close. And then I went to Super Saturday that October, and I was like, I can't let this go. Like, this has really become a big part of who I am. It's hard for me to even like relate to the person that I was before this. So I've learned how to make it work because it's too important to me to let go. And I know what it's done for me personally. And just, it's just something that's really changed who I am. Like Dana mentioned, I'm a super, super introvert. I get extreme social anxiety in certain situations. Summit for me is like a mind fuck. Like I have a real hard time being around people all the time. And it should probably seem strange. Like I'm a teacher, like you're around people all the time, but it's just different. Like I can deal with high schoolers, like all the time. But when it comes to like other adults and stuff, it takes a lot out of me. So I forget where I was going with this.
Get your own hotel room.
I know.
I'm totally debating.
I have my own hotel room, but I've already offered it up to some people, so we'll see. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. But yeah, I mean, the person that I was before, like, that would be a whole other call in itself. But just how this has helped me mentally and physically, and like really show me what I'm made of, I guess, as cheesy as that sounds. And I think it's really made me a better mother. And, we preach about it all the time that you have to take care of yourself and you have to fill your own cup, but it's so true. I mean, if I didn't have this outlet, I'd probably be drinking a hell of a lot more wine than I do now. And it's been how long has it been? 8 weeks? 8 weeks we haven't had anything. So yeah. All right, let me look through my notes here and see if I got everything.
Does anybody have questions?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, fire away.
Out of curiosity, I know I can look this up, but the All-Star, what is that exactly? Maybe.
It just says that you've hit Success Club 12 months in a row.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's all it is. Yeah. Which was a big goal for me. And like I said, when I lost it, that really kind of messed with my head a little bit. And it's not about like, I mean, I am someone who likes recognition. I do like being recognized for things that I do, but it was just like, I wanted to show myself that I could be consistent and that I didn't have to fall back on my reasons, excuses for why I was too busy. And when I finally got into a good groove, like it really is all about momentum. It really is all about being consistent. It's not about, working 5 hours a day. I mean, if I had to add up the time I spend in a day, I mean, it's hard to do, but I guess like doing the vital behaviors, maybe an hour and a half I guess. I mean, that's not counting like posting and that sort of stuff, but maybe an hour and a half. And it really, like, once you get into the groove with it, it doesn't feel like too much. It's not overwhelming at all. It's just a matter of like looking at your day, being honest with yourself, and like what you're doing and what's serving you and what isn't, cutting out the things that aren't, and then just going for it. So that was just it was a marker. It was a way for me to measure that I was doing the things that I was supposed to be doing to move my business forward, pretty much. So. Sorry, I'm reading. Isn't afraid to invest.
Yeah, like I just feel like you take advantage of like trainings and stuff, and like you're not just kind of coasting through. Like you're digging into your trainings or your social media builder or whatever, or practical social media, going to summit, like all of those things kind of compound into like consistent success and just constantly being on. So
Yeah, the social media training was really good. I mean, it all depends on where you are in your business and if you're, ready to invest some money in something and, get into the like page world and all of that. I knew for me, time-wise, a big reason why I wanted to do that, aside from the training, was that they build a website for you. And I knew that that wasn't something I was going to be able to do. I'm not technologically savvy, and I knew I wasn't going to have the time to figure it out. So to me, it was worth it to spend a little bit of money and have somebody else handle that for me, so that it was there for me and I wasn't going to like stress about it and take time away from the things that I can't outsource, So the difference between that and the Jesse Reagan one, I don't know. I can't imagine it's much different. I would think it's pretty similar. I mean, Annalisa did the practical social media one with me too. I know some of you guys have done
I bought Social Team Builder, but I haven't started it yet. But I know Sari was doing it for a while. Do you know if there's a difference? Or Kelly, Spencer, aren't you doing that too?
Kelly and Laura.
Yeah, I'm doing the Social Team Builder. I have never heard of the other one though, so I'm not sure. This one is just about like how to do ads.
Yep. He has he has like a whole like a free thing, so you can like do a few at the beginning to see if you like the style. But I mean, I think it's definitely amazing. I mean, even people who aren't just coaches can like utilize his training like for like so many different occupations and what you do. Like it's really cool. So don't think it's like he's actually like his wife is not a Beachbody coach. Like he just is, he just is obsessed with helping people be like, but I don't know what the whole thing with your own website though, that sounds cool. So if somebody is into that, so
yeah, they have like a whole extra blogging service, so you can kind of get them all packaged together. And I did that solely because I was like, I need some sort of place to send people, and I didn't have one. And I knew if I built it, it was going to look like Mickey Mouse did it. So I needed somebody with some skills. So that was worth the investment for me, even though I don't use it that much at this point, but it's there for when I need it. And yeah, he just teaches you like how to run ads, how the biggest thing that I got out of it was how to target ads properly. I know that I'm sure all of you guys have done like some sort of avatar training, but he really helps you hone in on like that unmet need that people have, and helps you navigate how to put that in front of the eyes of the people that want to see it. And I mean, it's been slow going, but it's definitely like where probably 60-70% of my business is coming from now. And it's nice because you have people who kind of connect with you before they even talk to you, because they know you have that common ground and they can like trust that you get what their life's like, which is cool. So, but I mean, that's a whole other thing, but definitely worth looking into, I think. And that has helped me when it comes to figuring out people to talk to, like I struggled with, like 60% probably of my new challenges every month come from ads. I was going to say, I struggled with my personal Facebook page and, like when you kind of exhaust your warm market and connecting with my cold market, and this has helped that a lot. So, regardless of whether or not you decide to do a training or any of that, really honing in on like who you're speaking to is super, super important. So there's that. Any other questions?
I have a question that I would like you to answer. Okay, so I totally think that to be able to stay consistent and stay motivated and just keep up with the routine that you're doing, you clearly have to have some kind of motivational driving force, right? Because you don't just show up and stay consistent and push for goals when it would be really easy not to, right? So
Right.
What do you pull your motivation from to stick with this consistently?
Well, that's, it's been a moving target. When I first started, I didn't really know what I wanted out of it. I just knew I had really like stumbled onto like a cool community, and it was more about, connecting with other women that, were like me. And, that's tough when you are a newer mother and you're trying to like figure out that whole thing and you don't feel as connected to some of your old friends. So a lot of it was community at the beginning. And then I started to see the potential for where this could go. And, my goal is definitely to not teach until I'm 65. I don't want to do that. I want to be present for my kids. I mean, for my profession now, I mean, things are pretty good, but they would be a hell of a lot better if I could be home. So yeah, that's definitely pushes me to keep going because I would love to be able to be home. I would love to have another baby and not put them in daycare. So yeah, I mean, that's my big why, definitely. I want to be home and still be able to contribute because we need the 2 incomes. So that's it.
I love it. I just think it's important to really hone in on that big picture because without it, you struggle. You struggle hardcore.
And definitely, like, I mean, when you're starting out, it's just like when you start your fitness journey, like you guys are all coaches, I'm assuming because I mean, most of you guys didn't start with the business. You started with the products and wanting to like better yourself in your health and fitness. And that takes time to get into that routine. When you're talking to new challengers and they're like, this is so hard, like the first week, 2, 3, whatever. And you're like, you just have to keep going. It's going to get easier. And it's the same thing with this. I mean, it really does get easier. You start to figure out what works and what doesn't. And, you get into that routine. Like I said, like, I just get up in the morning. It's not a problem. It doesn't bother me because I've been doing it for so long that it's just become a part of my lifestyle. So you really just have to like push through that and find what works for you. And once you do, it starts to click. I mean, I'm not going to say there aren't bumps in the road. There will be, but you'll figure out what works. And you just have to kind of get through that stuff in the beginning for sure. And it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
Does anybody else have questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I know you did a lot of training about your like page in some of your groups that you did, but you mentioned that you can take your Instagram stories and link it to your like page. Did you learn that in one of the trainings, or is that something that's easy to do?
No, it's like super easy to do. If you have your Instagram set up as like a business account, then it will give you the option to link it. I think it's like in the settings or something. And you can link it with your like page. And then it'll say like, it's just like a little thing that you switch on. Oh, somebody's putting their phone up to show. Who is that? Dana's got her phone up there. But I think she does the same thing.
I'm on my work phone, so it's like really tiny. I don't know if I can.
I do the same thing, Ashley. It's pretty easy to link up, but you should just check out the settings.
Post anything from work or anything work related or tag anything about where I like work because of a lot of issues. So having something like that, I think, would help me a lot during the day to get it done before I get stuck here.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And if your Instagram isn't a business page, you can link it with your personal one too. So it can go to your personal stories on Facebook too.
Thank you very much.
You can't do both.
I think that if your Instagram is still personal, if you just change it to a business page, you'll automatically see that option, because prior to that being an option, it just wasn't there. But mine updated like automatically. Like one day I was like, oh, cool. I can just like upload this to my like page too. So that option just like pops up right underneath if you change your Instagram to a business page. Does anybody else have questions for Alicia? Clearly, I think you just rock how you just make the time in your schedule wherever you have it, and don't make excuses of why you don't. I think that it definitely is important to find a groove that works for you, whatever your life looks like, because it's different for everybody, but you seem like you've nailed that. So thank you for sharing. I think that was super helpful. I know a lot of the coaches on here still work full time, so I hope that it was helpful for you guys to have some tips that you can probably implement into your day maybe. But any last questions before we hop off? No? Well, thank you, Alicia. I know this was out of your comfort zone, but you absolutely did amazing, and you don't seem nervous at all. So that's a good thing.
Just gotta rip the Band-Aid off.
We won't huddle around you at Summit, I promise.
Oh, but in Mexico.
That's fun. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. It's a different energy.
It totally is. All right, ladies. Well, thanks for hopping on. Have a good night. Thank you, Alicia.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See you next week.
Thank you.